Hi, Jeremy here with part 2 of our experiment. Meet Matt. By his own admission, he is what?
The club's worst golfer.
Yeah, it's a bit harsh. It was his words, not mine. And what we're going to try and do is take him from an average score over 110. His current best is 103. And we're going to see within a year whether he can break 90. We've made a start on the driver. That was part 1. Today, we're looking at short pitching, the 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock shots, which, how did you go with those?
I avoid them like the plague, frankly. They worry me. They worry me.
Right, well, for now anyway, we'll see how we get on. Let's try this 20-yard pitch. We're sort of 20 yards to the front of the green and another 5 on. Sand wedge in hand. Let's see, second lesson. Pitching, short pitching, I guess we'd call this. How are you? Keep going. How are you generally with these?
This is a part of the game that I've not really had a lot of work on, to be honest.
Okay.
It's one of the areas where I panic. And
Well, that's very honest.
I've been trying to hit it to within 100 yards so that I can just take a full swing.
Have you?
From
so
there,
you're actually avoiding
I
these?
don't want to come near the green.
No, okay.
I want to be on the green or away from the
And that was a sand wedge there. That's gone
Yeah.
extremely low.
Yeah.
Is that sort of normal?
Yeah,
You find
oh,
it difficult to get any elevation
getting
on it?
elevation, not
Right.
happening.
Okay. Right, Matt. Well, we can see from this angle.
Mm-hmm.
We can see from this angle why the ball won't go in the air much at all. I'm just going to ask you to step away and leave that club where it was, and just go behind the camera there, and you'll see it straight away, I think. So the first job is to get some height on these, and can you see with that amount of shaft lean, the ball is never going to go very high. And what I can also see on some of your shots is that you kind of move backwards a little bit,
Right.
to try and
scoop it up,
get it up in the air. So there's a couple of things at play here that are making life really difficult for you. What we want is ball turf contact. We want the club to be descending, of course, which it obviously will if you put it there, but obviously this is too much, and I've got the feeling that you're going to not sort of trust that. So we're going to start with the address position. There are 2 rules really for chipping. Number 1, which you had, but just too much of. Number 1 is the centre of the circle, so the throat or the back of your neck, needs to be positioned in front of the ball, and with a narrow stance we can do that, and we also put the ball just on the trail heel, so it doesn't need to be outside that. And if you do, then you'll turn. I can show this to the camera. With this much shaft lean, that sand wedge is turned into like an 8-iron. So of course you'll play a chip and run, and every time you get stuck behind a bunker, I would imagine you're not very happy with that. You might even go round the bunker,
or a terrible attempt at a flop shot.
Yes. Okay. So this is the address position we want to have, and I call it the leaning tower of Pisa. We have the head in front of the ball, but not the weight shoved forward by the hips and the head rocking back. We have everything leaning forward. So there's quite a lot of weight on the front foot, and it has to stay there. Like you wouldn't transfer your weight on a putt, and you don't on a chip either, because there's not enough time really to transition the weight. If you get back on the right foot at this point, there's no way you'll make it back onto the left foot by impact, so you'll stay there and then you're grounding out too early as well. So we're really in front of the ball. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is that you've got to be what I call, or what my daughter calls actually, on the clock. Can you see that that's parallel now and horizontal? And the club's a little bit tilted there. That's perfectly square. And I can do the same thing on the other side. Yeah. So it's a mirror image. Now that has a big effect on where we hit the ground. If we come around here too much, again we hit the ground early. Yeah, but if we're on the clock, then we're going to hit the ground exactly where we've positioned the ball. So those 2 things are super important for getting the divot in the right place, and that's what we're going to control, or going to try and get you to do today. And a super important shot, a big leap forward if you can manage this. Come in and have a go.
Okay.
This will feel radically different.
So,
And
just
yeah,
touch
just your toes on where the balls are. So it'll be much narrower than you're used to. That's it. And the shaft lean will be less.
A lot less.
There you go. You feel like your eyes are there, but you can see much more of the loft of the club, can't
Yeah.
you? Yeah. Okay. So just rehearse the backswing for me. No, that's too much inside.
Okay.
So this is coming around the corner. Yeah.
Yep.
Where we
Needs to
want
be
it
out here.
to be parallel.
Got it.
Yeah.
So
hit one from there, and then we'll do the perfect. Right, that's already miles better. A bit scuffy,
Yep.
but there was some elevation straight away, wasn't
Certainly,
there?
yeah.
Right, let me bring the camera around. Right, so from this side, just show me again what the backswing line was.
Oh, so it was.
You did it, yes. When I caught you,
Yeah.
the camera wouldn't have picked that up from the other side,
No.
but this is what we want. So from the camera's point of view here, the shaft has now perfectly disappeared. You could see it
No
there,
longer here.
and you could see it there, but from the camera's point of view now, it's completely disappeared. And if we do a follow through on the other side without hitting the ball, we can see that if we rotate the chest through, then we'll get to the other side.
Excellent. Club facing the sky.
With yeah, exactly. So it's a mirror image on either side. Let's see how you go. Well, that's that's quite a transformation. That's gone to about 3 feet and
a little
nice
bit different.
elevated shot. Hang on, don't move your feet.
I will not.
Really well done. What a lovely shot.
All right.
How'd that feel?
Again, excellent to see that elevation and just skipping right to where it needed to be.
Yeah.
And it was a bit scary actually coming this far back, because if I'd been doing that the way I was doing it, I'd have been just skimming it
Yes, of
miles
course.
into the field over there and
That's interesting. Yes, of course,
be
because
owning some golf balls.
with the shaft lean and the loft as it was, obviously the ball
Yeah.
would go.
Yeah, if I
far
gave
too far.
that far back, then it was gone.
Yeah. Let's just go a bit narrower.
Narrower.
Narrower with the feet, and what that'll do, and move the ball an inch further up. Your head, no, don't push the shaft forwards quite so much.
Yep.
It's still forward, and it
Yep.
still has to be forward. And the leading edge is down. That's okay. That's no problem. Don't worry about trying to use the bounce or anything like that. But the shaft is forward enough, and your eyes are there, so you will be down enough, and you'll get some proper elevation with this if you stay on the right swing path. Okay. Okay. Well, we'll hit higher shots than that, but really nice already in 3 balls. We've
Big difference already. Right, so weight.
Yep.
Over here, eyes in front.
Yep. Well done, you. Well done, you. Who said you're the club's
improvement.
worst golfer?
Yeah, the
I
club's
don't believe
worst
it.
golfer.
I don't believe it.
Maybe not this Sunday. Maybe not this Sunday.
Well, look. I mean, if you, your best score is what?
103.
Okay, and what's your average score really?
Around 113.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's without any short game really.
Yeah.
Without
pretty
being able
much.
to play this shot.
No.
Well, as soon as you can do this, this could come
It's
up
gonna
on every
majorly
hole.
change. Yeah.
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 No, that's.
As I say, I can stop sort of worrying where I have been sort of looking at my distance to the hole and thinking, right, well, I've got 270 yards to go. My 7-iron goes about 170. So if I hit a 7-iron here, then I can hit the 56 onto the green. And if I get lucky, it lands. If I
this is the thing with the curriculum and the game itself, and why I've come up with this idea. We can't dodge a shot.
No.
You have to be able to play. Not all. Well, 2 of the shots in the 20 are hooks and slices. You don't actually need those, but you will in time be able to learn them. But all the others, they come up, as a matter of course, short putt and a long putt and a chip and run and a pitch over a bunker and a medium pitch and a bunker shot and full swings with all the different clubs and sloping lines and shots out of rough. They're all going to come up.
Yeah.
So we have to be able to master them all. So this is a really nice start. Let's rehearse that again. So I'm going to stand here and try and catch the club. This is a great thing to do. Yeah, okay. Also, just have a look at that. That's very tilted down towards the ground. What we're looking for really is about the same angle as your spine.
Okay.
Yeah. And so if you imagine you're up here, spine's vertical, and you would see there, we can see, the camera can see, that's a vertical shaft, but your body is also vertical. So you don't play golf from there, you play golf from here.
Yeah.
So this wouldn't be horizontal unless you twisted it.
Got it.
And that's going to give you a very
toe heavy
low shot.
Yeah.
You can see again the shaft's leaning. If you just turn around to the camera, and
Yep.
then we can, with the whole body, and then we can see the address position.
Mm-hmm.
So if we shut the club face, yeah, so that this is now horizontal instead of on that tilt that we just had, then you can see how that encourages the hands to lead.
Yeah,
And if they
massively.
didn't, you'd pull it, you see. So you're going to get a low shot
Yeah.
with the club that closed. Whereas this, yeah, it's on a...
Keeps it up.
It's not quite toe up, but it's on a sort of 45
Yeah.
degree angle.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so that you can then deliver the club as you had it at address. So let's just do one more where you rehearse that.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's it. Just put it in my hands and don't hit the shot. Yeah, perfect. That's much, much nicer.
Got it.
Yeah, you should get some better elevation from that. Let's see. Oh, pity. All you missed is a divot there. Have another go. All you missed was your divot. That was really nice, actually. There we go.
And that is a
There
lot
we go.
more elevation.
There we go.
Excellent.
Our work is done. That was a brilliant shot, and that's taken 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So Matt was not quite right in the address position, and also not quite right in the backswing. There are two things you've got to get right with this. Number one, head in front, narrow stance, so that we hit the ground first and weight forward as well, of course. But also, the swing has to be on the right path. Get those things right, and the ball can fly. It's not that hard. Anybody can do it. Matt, by his own admission, is the club's highest handicapper, and in his words, the worst golfer. I don't think that's true. Well, at least if it is true, it's not going to be true for long at this rate.